Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A whole lot of questions here. First of all, for all the members here, this is the Maritime Subcommittee. We've been trying for about 6 years to get a Congressional Gold Medal for the merchant mariners of World War II who had the highest death rate of any of the services. So I'd appreciate all the members signing on to that. We need a whole lot of names, so keep that in mind and we'll be around. Now, moving on. Admiral Schultz, what's the cost of the Polar Security Cutter?
The contract award here was for $749 million, coupled with some previous year's appropriations. There's about $300 million available. I anticipate that first ship is going to be, north of $900 million. We hope hulls 2 and 3 would probably come down below $700 million. It's a little premature, but those would be my rough order of magnitude numbers, sir.
So to meet your 633 cutter,
631 sort of lexicon, sir.
Would be somewhere, what, $2 billion, $2.5 billion?
Congressman, the award is for the initial ship and an option for 2 additional ships, a total of 3 hulls. The conversation, additional icebreakers was possibly you're looking at maybe something less than a heavy breaker to fill the need. We may find as we get into production that we have stable requirements, stable funding, predictable funding, that the differentiation between this heavy Polar Security Cutter and something that looks slightly different from a cost standpoint, we'd have to have those puts and takes. It's premature, but I think, sir, it's about $1.9 billion on the first 3, and then we'd inform the conversation on what we're talking about beyond hull 3.
There was a gee whiz moment for the U.S. Navy this last 18 months, and that is, oh my God, the Arctic is opening up. Yep, it is. So for a couple of $1 billion, we could have the heavy icebreakers. I draw this to the attention of the committee, particularly those that are on either the Appropriations or the Armed Services Committee, that this is absolutely critical, and that we simply ought to move forward and get those 3 underway now, not wait until current would be about 2030, current plan. Next, Mr. Admiral Busby, thank you for your leadership on the shipbuilding. I draw the attention of the committee to the comment of the previous Texan a moment ago, and by the way, the Academy in California, gentlemen and ladies, is the best. Now that we've settled that, yes, we do need ships, and Texas is a big exporter of natural gas. The Energizing the American Shipbuilding Act is about to be introduced. If it becomes law, we will build perhaps 50 ships, tankers, oil tankers, and LNG tankers over the next 15 years or so. Major opportunity to use a critical national security asset, natural gas and oil, and combine it with 2 other national security assets, the ability of our shipyards to produce large ocean-going commercial ships, and also the mariners that go with them. It's about to be introduced. On the Senate side, it'll be Senator Wicker. Draw the attention to the members of the committee to that opportunity to meet the needs. Admiral Busby, specifically to you, the question really goes to the Ready Reserve Fleet. You've been with several plans on what ships need to be built. You've mentioned refurbishing used ships and the like. Has that plan is it updated, is it available, and how does it fit in with the current budgets?
Thank you for the question, sir, in a very important area and one that I have a lot of focus on, as you can, and as we have discussed. Working very closely with the Navy, I actually had some discussions with Secretary Spencer last week about this. He is very, very focused on this. The Navy's 3-pronged plan of service life extensions, purchasing with Congress's approval, used ships to bring in to be modified, and then new construction is still the plan, kind of record. We're working through what's the right business case or what's the right ships to go after. The special mission ships of the Ready Reserve Force are of particular interest because they're all steamships and they are all aging and they all have very special capabilities. So we heard you. We are focusing very closely on those ships in particular.
Admiral, you produced a couple of placemats If you could share those with the committee, I think it would be eye-opening for all of us. And if you could also provide a memo as to what the current plan is, it would be very helpful.
Sir.
Thank you very much. Yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Schultz, good to see you again. I've heard a lot from my constituents in the port of Green Bay. It's Titletown, USA, Green Bay, Wisconsin, in case anyone's paying attention. That there's an eminent need for a new Great Lakes heavy icebreaker. We currently have the Mackinac-class icebreaker. It's only half as wide as the vessels it escorts because it was intended to be working in tandem with a second